Some motorcycles are built to thrill, others, they're built to fool you. Just because a bike looks fast, sounds loud, or costs a fortune doesn't mean it's worth your money or your spine. Today, we're calling out the bikes that are more hype than horsepower. The overpriced, overhyped, and underbuilt disasters that only clueless riders get excited about. These are the motorcycles only dumb people buy. Let's get into it. Number 1, Honda CTX 700. If motorcycles had a midlife crisis, the Honda CTX 700 would be it. This thing tried to be a cruiser, a commuter, and a futuristic experiment all at once, and failed at all three. Honda designed it for accessibility, which is code for nobody who actually rides asked for this. Let's start with the engine. A 670cc parallel twin pulled straight out of a scooter. It makes about 48 horsepower and redlines just above 6,000 RPM. It's not a typo. Twist the throttle and it feels like you've hit the limiter before anything exciting happens. It's dull, uninspired, and sounds like a dying vacuum. It gets weirder. Honda offered it with a DCT automatic transmission. No clutch, no shifting, no control. Just twist and coast into mediocrity. For some riders, that's a plus. For anyone with a pulse, it's frustrating. The styling? Think discount Star Wars prop meets mobility scooter. Big plastic fairings, awkward angles, and a riding position that makes you feel like you're slouching into retirement. It's not fast, not fun, and not even that cheap. Honda wanted it to be the future of riding. Instead, it's a weird Craigslist relic no one wants to admit they bought. Want something relaxed? Buy a Shadow. Want an auto? Buy a car. Number 2, Buell Blast. The Buell Blast was Harley-Davidson's attempt at a beginner bike. Instead, it became a masterclass in how to make motorcycling feel like homework. Built to be easy, it ended up being more of an embarrassment than anything else. The engine? A 492cc single-cylinder thumper that made around 34 horsepower, barely enough to outrun a lawnmower. It vibrated so much your mirrors were useless and your hands went numb after 20 minutes. And yes, it came with a belt drive. Cool in theory until it snapped under stress. Reliability? Don't count on it. The plastic's warped, the rotor's warped, and the carburetor hated starting in cold weather. Even Harley dealerships treated it like the weird cousin no one invites to their reunion. And here's the kicker. When Harley killed the Blast, they made a commercial literally crushing it with a hydraulic press. You can still find used ones for dirt cheap because nobody wants to be seen riding one. Want to learn to ride properly? Take a course, then buy a used Ninja 250. You'll actually enjoy yourself. Number 3, Yamaha Bolt C-Spec. The Yamaha Bolt C-Spec is what happens when a company chases a trend with no clue how to deliver. Yamaha saw the cafe racer craze and said, let's bolt on clip-ons and call it sporty. Big mistake. It's based on the standard Bolt, a decent entry cruiser, but the C-Spec got lower bars, a cafe seat, and rear set pegs without better suspension, more power, or real sport handling. You get a 942cc V-twin making 51 horsepower and a heavy bike that corners like a backpack full of bricks. It looks cool parked, and that's the trap. Riders think it's a budget Thruxton. It's not. Want a cafe racer? Build one. Want a Bolt? Get a base model and skip the cosplay. Number 4, Kawasaki Vulcan 2000. On paper, the Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 sounds amazing. 2053cc V-twin, over 120 foot-pounds of torque, and more metal than a battleship. But in reality, it's a heavy, overbuilt mistake that confuses raw power with actual rideability. The wet weight? A ridiculous 880 pounds. That's not a bike, that's a celestial body. Sure, it pulls hard in a straight line, but try parking it, turning it, or maneuvering in a tight space. Prepare for a full-body workout. The torque is cool for 10 minutes. Then you realize the suspension can't handle it, the brakes are overwhelmed, and cornering feels like dragging a couch through a gravel pit. Add in twitchy throttle response, and it punishes every rookie mistake with full force. Long rides? Forget it. Despite the size, ergonomics are a mess. Luggage options are limited, and it eats rear tires like candy. It's a barstool flex bike, nothing more. If you're buying this thing because bigger is better, you've missed the point. Sometimes more just means more problems. Number 5, Moto Guzzi V85 TT. Moto Guzzi hyped the V85 TT as a retro adventure bike with character. It had a shaft drive, a quirky engine, and good looks. But once riders actually took it off pavement, the truth came out. This thing's all show, no go. The engine's a 853cc air-cooled V-twin making just 79 horsepower, which feels weak next to its rivals. Load it with gear or a passenger and it struggles. Heat builds fast in traffic, and off-road, it overheats and underperforms. Suspension's too soft, the electronics act up, and the front end feels vague on dirt. It looks ready for Africa, but rides like it's scared of potholes. Most of its adventure DNA lives in Instagram filters, not real terrain. Then there's maintenance. Valve adjustments are a pain, parts are pricey, and reliability is a hit or miss. If you want style and off-road chops, get a Tenere 700. The V85 TT is for people who care more about matching jackets than actual adventure. Number 6, CF Moto 300 NK. On paper, the CF Moto 300 NK looks great. Cheap price, decent specs, and modern styling. But ride it for 5 minutes, and the corners they cut start screaming at you. The 292cc engine is rough at high RPMs. The throttle response is twitchy, the gearing feels off, and the acceleration is dull. It's not fast, not smooth, and not fun. Build quality is where things really fall apart. Plastic feels flimsy, bolts rust fast, and paint fades in months. ABS is too aggressive, the suspension is harsh, and nothing feels sorted. It's tempting for first-time buyers, but this is a you-get-what-you-pay-for trap. There's no dealer support, parts are hard to find, and resale is awful. Want budget performance? Buy a used MT-03 or Duke 390. The 300 NK is an Instagram bike. Pretty in pictures, disappointing in real life. Number 7, Hyosung GT650R. The GT650R looks fast. Full fairings, clip-ons, twin-cylinder engine, it screams sport bike. But once you twist the throttle, it screams for help. Sure, it makes about 72 horsepower, but it's sluggish, vibey, and unpredictable. The throttle is jumpy, the gearing feels wrong, and it handles like a bike that was designed on a whiteboard, not a track. The worst part? Build quality. Plastics fade, bolts rust, and electricals go haywire. Finding parts is a nightmare, and dealerships are rare. New riders buy this thinking it's an SV650 alternative. It's not. It's a mistake with a sport bike costume. If you want a reliable midweight, get a Ninja 650 or CBR 500R. This one belongs in a return bin. Number 8, Can-Am Ryker. This one's guaranteed to start a fight. The Can-Am Ryker is technically not a motorcycle, but that hasn't stopped plenty of people from throwing down serious cash thinking they're buying a two-wheeled alternative. Spoiler, they aren't, and most experienced riders aren't fooled. The Ryker is a three-wheeled CVT-driven twist-and-go cruiser that looks like a Transformers tricycle. It has no clutch, no gears, and no lean. So basically, none of the things that make motorcycles fun. It's wide, awkward, and about as nimble as a refrigerator on rollerblades. People say it's safer, but that's a lie. You still don't have a roll cage, airbags, or real stability control. Without the ability to counter steer or lean, emergency handling is worse than a motorcycle, not better. And let's talk price. You're paying motorcycle money for something that performs like a glorified mobility scooter. If you're physically limited, it's an option. But if you're just trying to stand out, don't expect respect at the bike meet. It's not a bike, it's a rolling identity crisis. Number 9, SSR Razcol 125. You've seen it. The Razcol 125 looks like a Honda Grom from 20 feet away. It's cute, it's tiny, and it costs way less. But the second you sit on it, or God forbid ride it, you'll realize exactly why it's cheaper. Because the SSR Razcol isn't a bargain, it's a trap. The 125cc air-cooled engine is underpowered, sure, but that's not the issue. The real problem is reliability. These bikes are notorious for electrical gremlins, oil leaks, cheap bolts that strip on day one, and suspensions that bottom out if you so much as breathe hard. And forget about dealer support. Parts are hard to find, good mechanics won't touch them, and the company isn't exactly known for customer service. You'll spend more time fixing this thing than actually riding it. Worse yet, it gives people a terrible first impression of small bikes. They buy one expecting a fun mini moto experience and instead get an unreliable lawn ornament. If you want a 125cc bike that works, just get a used Grom or Z125. The Razcol is a Raz scandal. Number 10, Ravaco Trike. If a Bond villain had midlife crisis money but no actual taste, he'd probably end up on a Ravaco Trike. This monstrosity is what happens when someone tries to combine a touring motorcycle, convertible sports car, and a discount theme park ride, all into one overpriced disaster. Ravaco markets these trikes as luxury cruisers, complete with car-style seating, automatic transmission, and features like heated grips, stereo systems, and storage compartments big enough for a Costco run. Sounds good until you actually ride one. The handling's awful. No leaning, no counter steering, just point and pray. They bounce over bumps like shopping carts, corner like overloaded minivans, and make you feel more like you're steering a parade float than riding a motorcycle. And at over $35,000, they cost more than an actual car that's faster, safer, and 10 times more comfortable. Let's not forget how they look. With their awkward shapes, chrome overload, and cruiser meets buggy aesthetic, they scream, "I wanted attention, but I missed the assignment." If you want comfort, get a Goldwing. If you want 3 wheels, get a Spider or a sidecar rig. But if you want to waste money and look ridiculous while doing it, congrats, this is your ride. Look, every bike on this list has fans, but if you're buying them based on hype, looks, or bad advice, then you're just setting yourself up to regret it. Want to ride smart? Don't fall for the specs on paper, the dealership polish, or that one YouTube comment section. Test ride. Do your research and think long term, not just about how cool it looks parked outside a diner. So, did I roast your bike, or did I miss one even dumber? Drop a comment and let's hear your worst motorcycle purchase story. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown of bad decisions, hit that like button and subscribe, because I've got more riding wisdom headed your way.